Everyone Sarnai, dear Dham friends. I am Bante Dhammalankara from Labunuru Forest Monastery, North Central Province in Sri Lanka. So today's topic, now is the time to start Vipassana. So before start that discussion, let's invite the Devas to join with us with this Dhamma sermon. Samanta cakkavalesu atra gaccantu devata saddhammaṃ nirayaṃ sunantu saggaṃ dhammasavana kālo ayam vadanta dhammasavana kālo ayam vadanta dhammasavana kālo ayam vadanta. Some friends, all together pay homage to our great teacher Samma Sambuddha. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Some friends, today I selected a stanza from the Dhammapada included into the Khuddaka Nikaya. Very important and beautiful stanza. Gabbhameke uppajjanti nirayaṃ pāpakammino Saggaṃ sugatino yanti parinibbanti anāsava. That is the stanza from the Dhammapada, Pāpa Vagga. Meaning, some Gabbhameke uppajjanti, someone go to the mother's womb. After the death, someone go to the mother's womb. Nirayaṃ pāpakammino, someone go to some people go to the niraya, awful realms, because of the unwholesome karma. Saggaṃ sugatino yanti, some people go to the Saggalok. Saggalok means divine world. Parinibbanti anāsava, the one who doesn't have the asava, one who don't have the asava, they go to the final nibbana, complete nibbana. Parinibbanti anāsava. This is exactly this stanza after the story Buddha pointed out. So today we discuss about that story. There was a monk, the bhikkhu. His name was Ittisa. So that bhikkhu, one day that bhikkhu went to the Pindapata to a house. That there was a gem cutter and his wife, his son, to this house that this Thero went for the Pindapata. So the gem cutter, his wife and son, offered the alms diligently to that bhikkhu. And they enjoy about that merit, delighted over that merit, and having delighted to that the alms to that bhikkhu, they invited to that bhikkhu, Venerable sir, please come our house every day. Do not go anywhere. Please accept this invitation out of compassion. Was they invited to that bhikkhu again and again. that family. Then the bhikkhu accepted that invitation. Then today, that day onwards, that bhikkhu came to that bhikkhu went to the Pindapata to that house. That bhikkhu used to go to the Pindapata to their house. Uh, in this manner, 12 years that Thero went to the Pindapata to that James Carter's house. So one day, when that bhikkhu go to that James Carter's house, the James Carter was cutting a meat. The usually bhikkhu went to the inside to the house and sat down on a seat until uh, the until food is getting ready, because the food is getting ready. Meanwhile, servant of the king came to that place, and he brought brought a gem, and he said, "Master, this is the gem from the king." He said, "Cut this gem, polish and decorate this, and hand over it today itself. This is the order. This is an order from the king." Then he accepted it. He undertook it. Okay, well, I will do it. With the blood-stained hand, he took the gem, keep aside, and went to the kitchen to wash the hand. Meanwhile, there was a vulture. Uh, they looking after. There was a vulture. They look after for the pet. So the vulture saw this gem, but the vulture thought this is a piece of meat, and he came at once, solved it. Now, when the gem cutter returned to the place, there was not gem it had been kept, where it had been kept. Then he find it everywhere, and went to the kitchen, asked from the wife, "Did you take the gem?" Then wife said, "No, I didn't take the gem." And went to the son, "Did you take the gem?" "No, I didn't take gem." Then he thought, no one came here. Then the bhikkhu is the one who took the gem, and said to the wife, "I think the bhikkhu is the one who took the gem." Then the wife said, "Don't ask that. Don't tell like that. That bhikkhu is not such a person. We know about him 12 years. He is a virtuous person. Don't ask him in that way." But the gem cutter wasn't stay in that way. He was unable to stay without asking about the gem from the bhikkhu. So he went to the bhikkhu, asked, "Venerable, did you take the gem?" Then bhikkhu saw the incident. Bhikkhu saw the vulture solved the gem, but he didn't say why. If bhikkhu said the gem cutter killed the vulture, therefore Bhikkhu said, Thero said, "I didn't take the gem." Then gem cutter did not trust it, did not believe it. He thought, then he asked, "Then Venerable son, who came here?" "No one came here." "Please give me my gem." He thought the bhikkhu is the one who took the gem. Again and again asked. Then bhikkhu was silent. Bhikkhu remained silent. Then the gem cutter said, "I know how to take the gem." He went to the stove and brought the rope and wrapped over the bhikkhu's head and with a stick he tightened it. He tightened it tightly again and again. So the severe pain occurred in the bhikkhu's head. The blood come out from the nose and the head. So because of that intense pain, the bhikkhu fallen down. So blood come out. Having seen that blood, the vulture came to drink that blood. So vulture started to drink that blood from the come out from the bhikkhu's body. Then the gem cutter kicked the vulture with the angry thought, what are you doing there? Then from the one shot, the vulture died on the spot. Then the bhikkhu saw the vulture died. Then said bhikkhu, James Carter, please release this robe and ask that check that vulture died or not. Then James Carter said, both of you have to die today. Then Bhikkhu understood exactly that vulture had died. So Bhikkhu said, that vulture is the one who solved the gem. Check, find out your gem having cut that the vulture's belly. Then if that vulture, the Bhikkhu said, if that vulture did not die, I never tell that story. Then quickly gem cutter went to the vulture and cut the belly and found the gem. So having seen that gem in the vulture's belly, the gem cutter was completely upset. He was completely upset. He was disappointed completely. Venerable sir, please forgive me. Venerable sir, this is my fault. Venerable sir, please forgive me. Now gem cutter was cried, Venerable sir, please forgive me. Then gem cutter asked again and again. Then Bhikkhu said, no, this is not your fault. This is not your fault. And this is not my fault. This is the fault of the samsara. This is the fault of the samsara. This is the defect of the samsara. So, this is the defect of samsara. So, now the bhikkhu said, the gem cutter said, Venerable sir, please forgive me. Then the bhikkhu said, okay, I will forgive you. But this is not your fault, this is not my fault, this is the fault of the samsara. Then gem cutter said, Venerable sir, if you forgive me, please come to my house again and again as before. Then bhikkhu said, no, I never come anyone's house. This is the fault. Today I received the consequences of the entering anyone's house. This is the result. Entering anyone's house. I never enter to anyone's house and enter under anyone. I never take the arms under anyone's house. anyone's room. So bhikkhu, as a bhikkhu, I should go to the house and house by house, and at their door step, I can get the pinda path. So having said that, bhikkhu went to the monastery, but same injury that bhikkhu died because of that same injury done by the gem cutter, that bhikkhu died. So that is an arahant. That is not normal bhikkhu. That is an arahant. So that bhikkhu passed away. That bhikkhu entered the parinibbana, complete nibbana. So having heard this story, Buddha, the bhikkhus tell the story to the Buddha, and Buddha said, explain about their destinations. What is that? The bhikkhu passed away, and he was an arahant. He doesn't come to the these states, and the vulture reappear as a human in that mother's womb, in that vulture's in the gem cutter's wife's womb, and the wife, after the death, she reappear in the divine world because she offered the alms to the bhikkhu compassionately with the shraddha. However, the gem cutter, he had to go to the nirayaṃ. Why? He because of his crime that arahanta died, he collected anantarika karma. I think you may know about the pancha anantarika karma, five heinous crimes. The If someone do any of among that five, he had to go to directly niraya, the most dangerous uh, realm from the four hell, niraya. So that karma can't be changeable. That can be karma, that ananta karma can't be changed. So that is the story, Dhamma friends. Behind that stanza, Gabbhameke uppajjanti, nirayaṃ pāpakammino, Saggaṃ sugatino yanti, parinibbanti anāsava. That is the stanza. That is the story behind that stanza. So, what do you think about that story? I think I like to discuss about two special points from that story. The first one is the the qualities of the arahantas. That arahant, that Thero, did not tell about the gem. Why? He did not tell. If he tell the story uh, about the solved, that vulture solved that uh, gem, uh, as soon as that knowing that gem cutter killed him. So that is not suitable for the arahant. Arahant did not think about his life, about his pain, about his injury. He think only, the arahant thought only about the vulture's life. That is the nature of the compassion of the arahantas. So he didn't think about his life, his body. He only think about the others. And sometime if that arahant told the story, sometime that arahant told the story, sometime that arahant told the story to the gem cutter, what happened? Uh, what happened to that arahant? To that sometime if that arahant told the story before the incident, that gem cutter uh, killed that kill that vulture. So then people say that gem cutter and arahant, that bhikkhu, kill the vulture, and wife and son will say that bhikkhu and gem cutter kill the vulture. So bad reputation for the bhikkhus, bad reputation for the Buddha Sasana. That is why the bhikkhu said not about the story. Exactly, that is not the most important thing. What do you think about the gem cutter? You say gem cutter is most cruel person. He is dangerous person. He is not. He is very cruel person. You will say about that about the gem cutter in that way. Exactly, is that gem cutter cruel? No, he is not so cruel. Why? If he is cruel, uh, does he invite you to the bhikkhu to the alms? Does he offer the alms to throughout the 12 years to the bhikkhu? No. He looked after that bhikkhu as his son. What is the problem? Problem is the gem was lost. That is the problem. Gem was lost. That gem is not his own one, and that gem should be hand over today itself. This belong to the king. So if he said, "Oh my God, my Lord, my your gem was lost," what happened? He had to face to the capital punishment. Not only his completely his family. So that is the nature. So what the thing is his gem was lost. That is the problem. So why that gem cutter did such a crime to that bhikkhu, that arahant? So he doesn't like to die. That gem cutter doesn't like to die. That is the reason. He like to live. He doesn't like to uh, suffer. He like to happy. He like to experience happiness. That is the nature. That is the nature of the gem cutter's life, gem cutter's mind. That is the nature of the our story. We also same. We like to live. We don't like to die. We like to experience happiness. We like to experience. We don't like to experience suffering. That is the nature of our life. So therefore, that is the story of our life. We are the same. We are same. There are no huge difference between the gem cutter and us. There is the only difference. Our gem is not lost yet. That is the difference. Until our gem is not, until our gem is lost, we don't do such a crimes. At the day your gem lost, you are the same person. You are the same one. So that is why that bhikkhu reminded to that gem cutter, this is not your fault. This is not my fault. This is the fault of the samsara. This is the defect of the samsara. So then what should we do? What should we do? We should free from this samsara. That is why we should free from this samsara. That is why we should escape from this samsara. So how do we escape from this samsara? So you can say, people can say, I don't like this sansara. I don't want to go to this sansara. I don't like to reappear as a divine. I don't want to go to the divine world. I don't want to go to the Brahma world. I don't want this sansara. Having told in that way, can anyone cut this sansara? No, no one can cut it. To cut that, we need the technique. What is the technique? That technique is the Buddha's Dhamma. That technique is the teaching of the Tathagata. So, what is the nature of the gem cutter? Gem cutter created his world with this, created his own world. We are create our world. So, gem cutter's life did not create anyone. Gem cutter did not create any deva, any god. His world created by his own ignorance. In the same way, our world created by our own ignorance. We are the one who created our world. We are the one who created our life, our world, and our journey. Now, today, now, this moment, we are creating our world with these faculties. What are the what? How do we create the world? Ditta, Sutta, Mutta, Vinyata. These are the four places we are create our world. How do we create? Having seen forms with the eye, having seen, having heard sounds from the ear, having smelled sound, the odor from the nose, having touched, uh, having touched, having contact, touching from the body, and having thought, thought thoughts from the mind. That is how we create the world. That is how we create the world. So that is how Jim Carter created his world. That is how we created our world. So uh, normally in this world we can see, we think, people think, if some people have enough money, enough things, if they have good people, good environment, they think they are in happy life, they are leading a happy life. We think if we have enough those things, we are leading a happy life. We think we don't suffer. So when you see some people have enough money or lands or enough relations, husband, wife, son, daughters, uh, the friends, when they have these things enoughly, so they think they have happy. When you have those things, you think I am happy. I don't have uh, any problem. They say I don't take something seriously. I don't harm anyone. I don't disturb anyone. So I don't disturb anyone. I earn money. I enjoy my life. Some people say in that way. So uh, how they spend happy life depending on physical things, depending on father, mother, sister, brother, son, daughter, relations. Depending on these things, they spend happy life. So the happiness depend on these physical things. Exactly, that is there happiness in those things? No, there are no happiness in the physical things. Exactly, we can't see happiness in the physical things. Why that? I will say a nice example. Often I say it. Suppose there is a golden necklace, there is a chocolate, and we tell a small baby, "Come, take what you like." Then what does that baby select? That baby select the chocolate. Why? He need it. he see the value in the chocolate. He doesn't see the value in the gold. Why? Isn't that gold value thing? Yes, the gold is valuable thing, but he doesn't have such a concept. That baby selected the chocolate. The same necklace we give after 20 years to the same person. Now he is not a baby. Now he is a man. He is young man. Now we suggest to him, select what you like most. Now he selected the golden necklace. Why? The same necklace. Why did he selected the golden today? Is that golden necklace changed? No, that is not changed. The same necklace. The concept is the what uh, has changed. The concept is thing that changed. Concept is the changing. Now there was no any value in the physical things. The validity was in his mind with his concept. So now you can understand there are no any value in the physical things. We are the one who create the value to the physical objects. In the same way, we are the create this world with our concept, So I will show how do we create father, mother. I will tell you every day, but if you understand this, you can start the Vipassana today. Now you can start the Vipassana by thinking again and again this. That is why I want to tell you this. Okay. When you I think you may have experience how you teach a baby uh, how you teach your baby that this is mother, tell this is mother, tell this is father, tell me father, this is mother. Having by saying such a thing, you you teach your son, you teach your daughter about the mother and father. Exactly, mother was not in that physical body. We are the one who create the mother with our experience. Remember, now I am teaching you, now I am telling you about the Lokottara Sammaditi. That is not the Sammasakata Sammaditi. This is the Lokottara Sammaditi. This help to the practice Vipassana. Okay. So, see how did we create the father? In the same way, there was not father in the body. So, if the father was in the body, why we teach in the small age that this is father, that this is father? There was not father in the body. Now let's see how we do it. How do we do it? So the bundle of the foreground element appear before our eye. The light, because of the light, the form come to the eye. Eye consciousness and form. Because of these three things, with the gathering of these three things, the thought or the color impression come to the mind. Gathering of these eye consciousness and form, that is called passa. Because of that thing, mind can get the object. So when the mind get that object, eye passed away and form passed away, eye consciousness passed away. So now mind can think on that object, on that color impression, that is called sanya. On that color impression, the mind can think. Now mind tie our past experience to that option, that color impression, that sanya, that shape, that this is mother. With our with uh, our ignorance, we tie our thoughts to that object, and having tied our thoughts to that object, we see onto the we project that ideas, that value to the uh, physical object, onto the foreground bundle of foreground element. So we saw the that value in the physical object, onto the physical object. That is how we create mother. That is how we see the value in our mind in the onto the physical object. Okay, now we can uh, find the mother in the outside. Now we can find the father in the outside. Exactly, father was not in the outside, mother was not in the outside. We are the one who create the mother with our thoughts. The value is in our mind. Understand, value is in our mind. Now we put that value in the onto the physical object. So now, to see that value in our heart, we need the physical object. So we need to enjoy that uh, the value, we follow the physical object every day. We need mother, we need father, we need son, we need daughter, husband, wife, woman and man, friends, relations. Onto the physical object, we find them, but the arise in the mind, arise in the mind. But we don't know that. We find those values in the physical object. Every day we do it. Since we born until we die, we find them. So uh, we find them. So when we die, we think there is a valuable thing in the outside, the valuable land in the outside. So the the energy of these faculties, when the energy of these faculties end, it is called died, it is called death. So but he think the validity is still remaining in the physical object. So though these faculties end, the validity is still remaining, then he had to reappear. So when he think about his land, or his gold, or his beloved things, his mind remain with the loba, desa, moha, craving, desire. So according to that desire, we reappear in the earthly realms. So that is how we go to the sansara. That is how we go to sansara, because of the valueness created in the mind. So that is how we go to the sansara. Can we stop that? Now I think you are clear, but I'm explained. So can we stop that journey? Yes, we should not project our thoughts onto the prograde elements. We are the one who projects our thoughts onto the prograde elements. We should not project our thoughts onto the prograde element. So if we are able to stay without projecting our thoughts onto the prograde elements, so we can cut that samsaric chain. We can end that chain. Okay. Now, but how do we do that? So I will tell about the reality of your life. Exactly, so how do we create that mother and father with these faculties? Why we do that? Because we don't know reality about the faculties. We think I is continually exist. We think form is continually exist, but the I is disappeared. I is died. Form is died. Every time, every moment, I is died, form is died. We can't see it. We see I is living every time. Form is living every time. But all the time, I is died. We should see that. Before understand that, you should understand what is the I. I is the I is the base where form impinges. That is the I. Form is the uh, color impression, visual data. I consciousness is the mind that recognizes that the form has hit the eye. That is the I consciousness. I consciousness is the mind that recognizes that a form has hit the eye. Okay, so nature of those things, only one thought they can bring, only one the way the uh, only one thought, one picture can bring a one eye. One picture can bring to the mind one eye. Having hand over that picture to the mind, I died, I disappeared. We should see that, but we don't see that. We should see about the, so now for example, now you can see the wall. So now you can see on the wall or computer or whatever thing you can see now. So when you see, you think I am thinking about the computer, I am thinking about the phone, but the picture brought about the phone was lost now, is died now. Now you are thinking about your mind, your object, mental object. You don't see about the form when you think. So when you think, the mind is the faculty is processing now. The I has died. That is what you should see. Exactly that process you can't see from the mind, from the eye. You have to understand that. You have to see that. If you see that I has died, that visual has died, you don't tend to project our thoughts onto that physical object. The thing, the problem, we think having, we think after the hand overing the color impression, we think still the visual data or rupa is uh, is uh, is stay is staying. That is the problem. So try to understand, this is very important point. If you understand this, exactly you can see the enjoy this dhamma. You can enjoy, you can feel the happiness of this dhamma. So when you see something, so when the object hand, after the object hand over into the mind, I disappear. So because of that ignorance, because of that a misunderstanding, we put our thoughts to side of that eye, side of that picture. But if you see that eye has died, you don't tend to put our thoughts to that object. So then that is the nature, that is the incident of our life, that is the thing our life. So Dhamma parents. So then what should we do today? What is the now I what is the practice? So you should try to understand about the faculties. So normal today we think I have an eye, I have an ear, I have a nose, I have a tongue, I have a body, I have six faculties. That is how people think. That is completely wrong according to the Buddha's teaching. Then what is the correct thing? Correct thing is the collection of faculties called I because of the ignorance. That is what we should understand. So if you don't understand that, think about the nature of the eye. Eye is called color. Eye is called the eye is the base where the form impinges, not the place eye. And that is what you should understand. Okay, now when you as a practice you can do this. Okay, today you can do this. When you think about your enemy, what do you feel? You feel upset, you feel worried. This person blame me, this person hit me or robbed me or insult me. So you feel such a thing. Then what should we do? When you feel an enemy, when you recall about enemy, you should divide that enemy and ask and teach your mind who is that enemy. Is that enemy four-grade element or Patavi element, Apo element, Tejo element, Vayu element? No. Then you can understand there was no enemy in the any elements. And again you can ask from the mind, is that was there that enemy in the color impression or the visual data, or otherwise is there that enemy in the uh, eye catching, chakupasada, or otherwise is there that any enemy in the eye consciousness? So teach your mind that enemy was not in those things, with those things. Enemy did not come with those things, with the physical object, from the physical object. So as well as you saw to your mind, uh, there was no enemy in that physical object when that physical object come to our eye very first day. You saw, and we are the created enemy because of the experience with our other faculties. Okay, that is what you should practice. Okay, not only the enemy. Sometime when you think about your mother or father with the ignorance, you have to show this. So that is what you should start today. If you do this at one time, you will understand exactly this is correct. So you will understand this is the way. So if you can't do this, you have to do another thing. This is called exactly Vipassana. So again, if you can't see in that manner, you have to develop samatha. How do we practice samatha? So you can practice Buddha Anusati, Buddha meditation, and Asubha meditation, and metta meditation or something. There are so many samatha meditations. Today I discuss only about vipassana. I did not discuss about samatha. uh, Practice samatha and vipassana again and again, so then you can experience the nature of the dhamma, and then you can uh, start the vipassana. So if you start in this way, you can start to the enter to the four noble truth. uh, you can enter to the eightfold path. So as as much as you do this practice, you can release the you can weaken your defilements. You can weaken your defilements, the power of your defilements, your betters. So you can cut the betters because uh, with this practice. So that is only I discussed today. So if you have any problem, any question, please ask me about that. So some we have today some live joiners with us. Uh, Chintana, thank you. Your kindly for teaching us, and Ryan Martin, our friend, and Janaki Amma, Janaki Balasurya, and Minal Mehta, and Jenny, Johnny, uh, Mama, and Chintana, CN. When the picture arises, how do we make it uh, neutral? When the picture arises, how do we make it neutral? Exactly. I think you are asking uh, when the picture arises, how do we understand? I think neutral means we can that. Can you explain about the nectar? That mean how do we? You are asking about understand. I think if you ask how do we understand about the picture, when the picture arises, how do we make it? Uh, so exactly when the picture uh, arises, at that time we can't understand. So first we, so that is what we should do. So when the picture come to our eye, we can exactly we so first we should understand the nature. We can't see this by our eye. So when we see the picture, we can't see that is the time I arise, that is the time I disappeared. We can't see such a thing from the eye. uh, First of all, we have to realize the nature of the I and I consciousness and I consciousness and uh, I consciousness and form. When we understand about these things, we come to know I can never exist continually. That is what your knowledge. That is you understand. I I can't exist continually because of the it is arising and ceasing. You see that. So with the development of that knowledge, your permanent sanya, the nitya sanya, is uh, is released, is weakened. You can weaken that nitya sanya because of the seeing the truth. The exactly you I think you know about the uh, flickers of the filament bulb. The filament bulb is flicker the I think you know the 60 time per second. In the same way, uh, I is die and born. That is the nature of the I. So uh, when we consider about our faculties, the other faculties, we can understand how the eye is work. So when we hear sound, the eye doesn't work. When we see the form, ear doesn't work. So uh, we can get the picture from the eye, and then I disappeared, the mind arised. Now the mind is the faculty is working. Mind is the faculty that working. So think the I I can never, and I can never think, and the mind can never think. Sorry, I can never think, ear can never think. So to think, the mind is needed. And when we understand about a picture, that is not the part of the eye, that is the part of the that is the part of the uh, mind. So you are able to understand how do I think about the wall, how do I think about the computer with the eye. So when we consider about that, you can understand I is I is the I is not there. That is how you can. That is where the point that you should pay your attention. Okay, Dham friends. Now it is time to wind up the discussion. So now we do anumodana to our teachers. First of all, I would like to transfer these merits, anumodana, these merits to Most Venerable Mankadavala Sudasana Mahathero, Most Venerable Mankadavala Nandaratana Thero, Most Venerable Padmali Kumara Kasapa Thero, and Bante Sudasso, Bhikkhu Pesala, Ayasoma, and Nipako Samanera, all bhikkhus around the world and in Sri Lanka as well as all live joiners with us. We do anumodana these merits. So, Dhamma friends, let's share these merits with the devas. Recite with me. Akasatta ca bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditta hiranrakkantu buddha sasanang. Akasatta ca bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditta bodhayantu sivam padang. So, Dhamma friends, I give you the blessings with my merits, my all kusala kamma. Abhivadana silissa niccang uddhapachayino chattaro dhamma vaddanti ayuvanno sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti minate samijjatu. Theruvan Saranai to all of you. Theruvan Saranai and good morning, good evening, good afternoon.